Cheapest countries in Europe. Europe is a popular location for people who want to go abroad. 50 nations make up the continent of Europe, 28 of which are members of the European Union. For tourists, expats, and long-term residents alike, Europe is frequently linked with expensive living costs, notably in Western Europe, the Nordic countries, and those that utilize the euro. But this isn't always the case. Many European nations are fairly economical, especially when compared to the United States, but some are rather pricey. Lists of the most affordable and desirable European nations to reside in are created and updated by a number of independent reference sources, including Planetware, Forbes, and the Global Retirement Index. These lists may be a useful tool for retirees, expats relocating for job or adventure, as well as tourists and travelers trying to stretch their travel dollars as far as possible. The majority of sources assess the cost of living as well as other aspects including healthcare, entertainment, safety, cultural considerations, and the ease of learning the local language. Most are not English-speaking countries. This thorough research identifies nations where immigrants may frequently live more affordably without compromising their level of living or quality of life. Many are also among the most accessible nations for immigrants. Bulgaria, a Slavic nation, is a hidden gem for tourists and expatriates alike in Europe and is frequently listed as one of the continent's more cheap nations. Bulgaria features gorgeous scenery, including beaches along the Black Sea in the summer and mountains for skiing in the winter, in addition to historic cities. In Bulgaria, a person's monthly living expenses might be as little as $600. In Bulgaria, long-distance train tickets start at $5 and supper with a drink costs less than $10, making transportation and eating both quite reasonable. Even if one is not an EU citizen, it is not particularly difficult to legally establish residency in the nation. Bulgaria is one of the most well-regarded travel destinations in Europe despite being the EU's poorest member and still struggling to improve its infrastructure, raise its overall level of life, and combat corruption. Montenegro. With an average monthly cost of living of approximately €700 per person, Montenegro is regarded as one of the greatest places in the world to retire. Rent, healthcare, food, and entertainment are all covered by this budget. Montenegro is renowned for its stunning scenery, welcoming locals, and extensive countryside filled with reasonably priced real estate. Though the cost of living may rise as you get nearer to the ocean. The lack of infrastructure and flights are Montenegro's drawbacks. Romania, another nation with stunning scenery, vibrant cities, and a relatively inexpensive way of living, receives the third almost universal endorsement. In the northern regions of Romania, a person's monthly budget starts at around €600, however Bucharest, the nation's capital, has a higher cost of living. Romanians may eat out for relatively little money. Lunch menus are $7, while travelers can stay in hotels, hostels, and flats starting at $15 per person. In Romania, obtaining a residency permit for a non-European is not too difficult. Despite being a member of the EU, Romania does not utilize the euro, which is one of the factors some people believe helps to explain why the cost of living in the nation continues to be cheap. However, there is still a lot of corruption in the administration at all levels. Hungary is another of the finest places in the world to travel, with a cost of living that ranges from about €900 per month in rural parts to €1,400 per month in Budapest. Hungary has an advantageous geographic location in Central Europe, giving it access to adjacent nations like Austria, Slovenia, and Slovakia. Food costs and lodging costs are also rather reasonable. The language barrier may be bigger in Hungary than it is in other European Union countries since Hungarians speak a language different than Indo-European. Czech Republic. While prices are higher in Prague, the Czech Republic's capital city, the country's countryside offers both lovely scenery and plenty of reasonably priced real estate. In the Czech Republic, the average resident's monthly budget is about €950. Due to its Central European location, the Czech Republic has quick access to nations like Austria and Germany. The cost of living in the Czech Republic is around half that of Germany, yet the level of life is similar. Meals may be had for $3 to $5 US dollars, and travelers can stay in a hostel for as low as $15 per night. One of the happiest nations in the world is the Czech Republic. Portugal is the least costly country in Western Europe, while being more expensive than several of the Eastern European nations on the list. Portugal provides a pleasant climate, access to the ocean, and a good degree of safety for roughly €1,200 per month. As long as one does not have any plans to settle in Lisbon, prices in Portugal are around half or even one-third of those in other Western European nations. Portugal is still very inexpensive, although costs are likely to increase as a result of the country's recent increase in popularity, particularly among seniors. Portugal is also among the nations in the world where immigration is most straightforward. Georgia, where the monthly budget is an inexpensive €600 to €1,000, is one of the less well-known but highly recommended European locations. It's simple to get residency permits, and for those who want to, Georgia is one of the easiest nations to become a citizen of. Georgia is a country in the far southeast of Europe that only shares borders with Turkey, Russia, and Azerbaijan. But as low-cost travel choices proliferate, Georgians now have easier access to all of Europe. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe.